It's now time for the Pony Cake Sports Podcast with your hosts, Josh Stevens, Tim Thompson, and Tom Schultz. Woo!
Hello, Pony Keg Sports Universe. I am your host today, Tim Thompson, joined as always with my friend. I still don't know how to say that right. I don't know how Josh does it. Every time I say it, I cringe. But I'm here with my friend and yours, Tom Schultz. Tom, how are you?
Tim, I'm doing great. You know, kind of a little bummed out. Josh isn't here with us tonight. He's busy traveling. But I'm excited to hang out with you another night this week. Hopefully talk some good NFL shit.
So I have a great line of things set up here. And so here's how it works. The Pony Keg Sports Studio is in Josh's house. And, you know, we've had technical difficulties in the past, just like anyone else, you know, would. But Josh isn't here. He's not on the phone this week. And now we can't get internet. We can't get anything working. I'm pretty sure the heat's on. It's summertime. The heat's on. You know, I don't really know what Josh is doing. He can't really just go on Rumspringa, as I like to call it. Do you know what Rumspringa is, Tom? Rumspringa is the Amish holiday when the Amish allow the people, their children out to go and experience the real world. That's what Rumspringa is, and that's what Josh is on right now. And you know, I just don't really appreciate him not paying his bills, not really figuring stuff out. I don't really appreciate it.
Yeah, I wish like I could just go and not pay my bills. I feel like this happens. Or this used to happen to Josh quite a bit. And then his future fiance or his future wife started making some big bucks, so he was paying his electric bill all the time, paying the internet. So I don't know if it's because he's not making that big buco money right now. He's taking a month vacation that he's just pretty much telling us to F off and not paying anything.
Shout out to Becca for keeping the house together. It's not falling apart. Josh is, you know, he's not been very supportive fiancé, as they say.
You've kind of been like Tim the Toolman Thompson over here lately.
I have every time I come over here.
That's why I show up a little late, so you can handle it.
It is. So for those of you who don't know, and I don't think I've really shared it, the first week Josh was gone, I just rolled in here, and I went, and his door was like not closing all the way. So I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm going to try to fix it. Start messing around with it. I'm like, all right, I'll wait for Tom to get here because I need an extra hand. So I went, I'm like, I gotta take a piss. So I went to the bathroom. Toilet wouldn't flush. Broken. So I'm like, all right, chain's off. Went in there. It's all messed up. Apparently Becca, who I just, you know, applauded, put some type of freaking cleaner in there. Long story short, Tom came in to me in the bathroom, MF in the world. My hands are blue as a Smurf. And Josh is just saying, oh, yeah, thanks, bro. Can you fix that? Josh special. Josh just unbelievable. Asked me to fix his vacuum, everything. His neighbors were robbed in the meantime.
To fix his door.
Everything. It's just unbelievable, the audacity of this man. So we don't have internet. We are doing this old school. We are like Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson talking football right now. So let's start it off here. I want to talk to you real quick about one of my favorite wide receivers of the mid to late 2000s.
Laquan Treadwell?
No. Damn it, Tom.
Trying to keep tradition alive, Tim.
Senor Salsa. Victor Cruz officially announces his retirement from the NFL. Let's face facts here. It's probably been, 2 years? Maybe at least a full year. He's gone now. He announces retirement from the NFL. I feel like he's one of those guys who's never going to get enough love. Let's face facts. He's never going into the Hall of Fame. But he's not bad. He's like that middle ground wide receiver. I believe he is starting a job with ESPN now. So what are your thoughts on Victor Cruz and just what he brought to the Giants and who he was?
I still remember, I believe it was Hard Knocks for the New York Jets. Victor Cruz was a rookie. for the New York Giants and went out and just torched that vaunted Jets secondary.
Yep.
And Rex Ryan's like, that kid's he's a player, blah, 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 you got something special. And then he absolutely broke out that season. I know he was wearing like number 5 or 6, or it was something stupid in the game. But Victor Cruz, him in that salsa dance, you have to respect that. The dude was a monster in fantasy football, was an absolute monster in a tough market to play in for the New York Giants, undrafted player. It's good. You definitely knew the career was coming to an end, though, when he tried out for the Bears and got cut mid-camp. And I think that was last year.
It was.
They had the worst wide receiver core in the history of the NFL, and he couldn't make that team. So you obviously knew it was over. Props to that man. He was entertaining to watch.
Thanks for bringing up that, Tom. But I agree. I was always a big fan of Victor Cruz. Don't think he got enough appreciation, which, to be fair, most NFL players don't. But Victor Cruz, best of luck to you. And at least he's got something set up. Yeah. He'll be on NFL, probably the content. They're mixing up everything over at ESPN.
I know DeMarco Murray got a job somewhere as well.
Yeah. Well, I was laughing. Who did I watch? Last Thursday, I want to say. I was over at a buddy's house, and we were watching. It was when the Packers played. And Booger McFarland was on the sideline. I don't know if you've seen it. I want to tell everyone right now. Go and look. When my buddy and I, Pat, we did not notice until his sister or sister-in-law came down and goes, "Oh my God, what's wrong with that guy's hands?" Booger McFarland's fingers are like they're like a puzzle. They're absolutely not all different directions. Go look at that. But yeah, all NFL players now are going across the NFL networks. I find it very interesting.
Yep.
Let's move on to a less fun subject. Richie Incognito loses his shit once again. Now, I'm not going to bash Richie Incognito. And not because he may not deserve it. Listen, he's lost his cool. He's lost his shit now here a couple times. I know he just recently lost his father.
Yep.
I know him and his father had a very questionable relationship at best, from what I've read. From what I've heard, he threatened to go get weapons out of his car. This was 2 months after. Threatening to go get that stuff after a gym altercation. The guy definitely has problems. After just retiring because he thinks he's mentally not there, he's worried about his CTE, all that stuff. It seems like it's a ticking time bomb, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's definitely not good. There's mental health professionals need to get involved. This is probably... I think there was another incident besides the two you have brought up, Tim. But yeah, this case, he was at the funeral home threatening staff there, and I know he damaged some property there. He was also at the swimming pool saying like the FBI was spying on him. It was just a bunch of crazy stuff.
This is where it's hard for me to listen. And people always, like, Josh always thinks I'm being a dick. But to be fair, like, even when it's my own family, like when I go through tragedy, the only way I know how to deal with it is by joking around. Like that's just me. So when I hear that Richie Incognito's at a funeral home and he damaged property, literally the first thing that popped into my mind is Richie Incognito whipping caskets around.
He probably could. He probably could.
He definitely could. I truly, truly hope that Richie Incognito gets some help, because I do feel like it's a ticking time bomb, and not to get too like gruesome, not to put anything on. I don't know him at all, but this seems like one of those situations, one of those progressions where like it's a matter of time before something very, very, very bad happens.
Oh, yeah.
Either with someone else or to himself.
Yep.
Someone, to your point, needs to step in. Family, friends, anyone. The time before where didn't he take a crowbar to his own Lamborghini?
Yeah.
Ferrari, was beating the shit out of it in his own driveway. There's just a lot there. I really hope Richie Incognito gets the help that he needs. Let's move on. Tom, I am literally just going through my notebook right now of things that I wrote down throughout the week.
It's all right.
So, hey, we don't have internet.
Yep.
That's how we're doing it. Adrian Peterson. Man. I've made a lot of jokes at Adrian Peterson's expense. I'm not going to talk about him whipping his son in the ball sack today, okay? I'm going to talk about Adrian Peterson getting the veteran minimum with the Washington Redskins, and this SOB is going to start. He's going to start.
Possibly.
No, he's going to start.
He should.
He's going to start.
He should start.
Gruden came out and said it was more of they ran the drills. And I don't have the exact quote because Josh's internet is dial-up now and I don't have the plug-in. But it was something along the lines of it wasn't the beginning of his workout. It was the end. We worked him out hard and he wasn't even breathing heavy. We've always heard that about Adrian Peterson. We heard that in the preseason when he was with the Saints last year. Obviously, the dynamic did not work out there. Is the Redskins situation something where Adrian Peterson can find some success?
It really depends what your definition of success is. Can he be like a running back 3 in fantasy football? Yeah. I don't see him being a top 24 guy. I don't see him being fantasy relevant on a week-to-week basis. I saw some stat. It was over his last 21 games. He has averaged over 3 yards per carry twice. Not good. I think last year was 3.1 yards for the season, but he had that one big monster game against the San Francisco 49ers his first week with the Cardinals, and then it kind of went to shit. You just get to that certain age where you just don't got it anymore. He's one of the best of all time. He was the guy for pretty much most of our football, fantasy football life. We've been playing 10 years or so, 10, 12 years. We've been playing pretty consistently.
Oh, fuck.
And he was the guy back then. It's just not his time anymore. The running backs, even freaks like him, don't have the shelf life of a tight end like a Jason Witten where they can be consistent even into their late 30s or even wide receivers. He's pretty much done. He's washed up. But I feel bad for Orleans Darkwa. That's who I thought was going to get signed. He's a lot younger.
Yep.
And I'd feel like shit if I was Darkwa.
For all the shit that I've given to AP over the last 2 to 3 seasons, I do truly hope that he is successful enough this year. I'm feeling, you can tell, I got a soft spot in my heart today. I am hoping that he gets enough out of this season where he feels comfortable enough to retire on his own terms. That's what I want him to get out of this season. I don't want to have Adrian Peterson in 2019 trying out to be Derrick Henry's backup.
I hope he has 400 carries and 940 yards. Where it's just completely terrible, but he's somehow fantasy relevant just because they keep giving him the football. And there's a guy in our main, our league, our keeper, Jerry. Jerry, come draft day in a couple weeks. Jared kind of screws himself all the time with draft picks. AP is going to be his RB1. I can't wait.
I believe when in our group thread, my 2 consecutive text messages were Adrian Peterson signed with the Redskins. That is Jerry's number 1 running back.
It's awesome.
Let's jump around here a little bit. Let's go to some DBs. Jimmy Smith, 4-game suspension for the Ravens. What do you think?
What was it? PEDs?
Yeah, I don't think all the details have come out yet, but it doesn't seem to be good.
It's not good for the Ravens, but I believe they were without him a lot of last year.
They were.
Drafted Marlon Humphreys last year out of Bama. He will definitely be in that lineup more often. That defense is pretty good. People kind of underestimate that defense. We saw what they were able to do the Colts on Monday this week. They made the Colts number 1 string offense look pretty bad. They were top 5 fantasy unit last year as well. Very good at keeping points off the board. Eric Weddle's still good. T. Sizzle can still get after the quarterback. CJ Mosley is still a top-tier linebacker. I like that Ravens defense. I think they'll be fine. Hopefully Jimmy Smith can just come back healthy. He's had an issue staying healthy, and I think there was a chance he was going to miss some time anyway, so I don't think they're going to be panicked over it.
I want to just throw out there real quick because I feel like it doesn't get said enough through podcasts or articles, whatever you want to do. I'm going to throw some random stats, some random facts out there. I want to make it be known. I have not gone through the NFL statistics and found these out myself. I've gone through different Twitters. I've gone through different websites. I've gone through NFL Reddit. I've gone all over the place to find these facts. So I just feel like it should be known just for our own, credibility here. We're not claiming to have found a lot of these. Now, Josh's, the last 2 episodes that we did with wide receivers, the completion percentages, all that guy went Bill Nye. I thought it was Joey, his brother, doing it, the mathematician. But some of these facts here for the rest of the episode, just know I'm not claiming that I came up with them. Just feel like that should be, for all intents and purposes, should be thrown out there.
Spreading the knowledge.
Exactly. Share the wealth, if you would. You mentioned the Ravens. I want to throw a little nugget out there about the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens, after beating your Colts, a meaningless stat, that was their 11th straight preseason win.
Shut the hell up.
11 straight.
That's pretty good.
Preseason champions.
I know they're
Baltimore
3-0
Ravens.
already.
They're on fire.
Yeah.
Coming out hot. Can they get to 12-0? 3 seasons.
They've potentially be 13-0.
Oh, yeah, because they were a Hall of Fame game.
Yep.
Yep. Very interesting to see. We'll go back to the DBs. The Chargers today potentially lose Casey Hayward. I don't know the details here. I don't have the internet to find out the details here. But how bad is that? Why can't the Chargers ever just have a GD DB to play on their team who's healthy?
It has to be something with that training staff or how they're lifting weights. It has to be something like that.
How they're lifting weights, really effing up their knees.
No, but there's really no way. It's just bad luck after bad luck after bad luck. I just don't think it's possible. Something needs to change. Obviously, maybe it's where they're practicing. Maybe they have special turf they're playing on that's messing them up. I don't think they have a turf field or have ever had a turf field, so I don't think that's an issue for them. Something's going on. That training staff needs to be overhauled, needs to really look into what they're doing as a franchise, because it's every year they are killed by injuries, and they always have one of the most talented teams in the NFL.
Be interesting to see how the Chargers play that up. Can they get around this? It seems like this is always their bugaboo to get them. They're always floating around that wild card position.
Yep.
Can they overcome it? We will see. Tom, I'll be honest with you. All the rest of these are extremely fun to me. I apologize if you don't like them. They're all a little bit different, but they're all fun. So I'm going to start with, I sometimes feel bad. I bash the shit out of John Elway. I hate John Elway.
It looks like a horse.
I take it back. I hate John Elway, the GM. Tom, do you know who Menelik Watsons is?
Yeah, he's, I believe, tackle for the Broncos.
He is a tackle for the Broncos. Take that back. He was a tackle for the Broncos in March. John Elway guaranteed his entire contract.
Like $6 million.
Now, August 21st, I don't think it's official yet, so reportedly, he is terminating $6.8 million. You are a jackass, John Elway. You want to know why I bash you every time? Why I say you are the dumbest, without a doubt, the dumbest general manager in football. John Elway becoming the Broncos manager is what would have happened if Michael Jordan became the Bulls manager. He is a joke. He is terrible.
Won a Super Bowl. He got him Super Bowl with Peyton.
No, Peyton Manning got him to the Super Bowl. He literally said, what am I not going to sign? The Hall of Fame quarterback? He is awful. He deserves no credit on anything. He's done nothing but ruin that team. That offensive line, how as a quarterback, you could tell he's been so focused on the quarterback position. That offensive line has been their what's the word I'm looking for here?
Achilles heel.
Their catalyst not catalyst. Achilles heel. Thank you. Their Achilles heel over the last 3 years.
Yep.
Their defense has been great. Even more than that, 4 or 5 years. Their defense has been fantastic. Your You being the GM is the problem. Please, for the love of God, fire yourself and never be a GM. Just go be in the go to every game, be an advisor, that made up position that makes six figures. That's fine. You're John freaking Elway. You deserve that. You don't deserve to be a GM of an NFL team.
Tim, I get your hate, but I really don't know what happened with Menelik Watson. Don't have internet right now, obviously, so I can't really look up this story. Hopefully something happened. He wasn't just cut because of play. If he was cut mainly just because of play, then yeah, that's pretty bad. That should be a little black eye on John Elway. I think one of his biggest weaknesses is developing and maintaining that offensive line the last few years. That's been their biggest downfall. But personally, I like his draft in 2018. I like the Bradley Chubb pick. They got Cortland Sutton. That is true because the Browns.
That stupid Browns? Tell me who he would have picked.
Well,
who would he have picked?
They got Quentin Nelson there. Really, he couldn't mess that pick up.
He would have went quarterback.
Which he might have.
He would have went quarterback. He would have.
Which was a possibility. He might have went Denzel Ward. They lost Aqib Talib. But I like the receivers. They got Deshaun Hamilton, Cortland Sutton, Royce Freeman. I think they got potential 4 to 5 guys in this year's draft who could be either playmakers or help this team out in the next couple years. I don't mind what Elway has been doing there. I like Garrett Bowles, their left tackle they drafted last year. I know you're hating on him. Just because he looks like the mascot of his team doesn't mean you have to hate him. It's like him and Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton looks like a tiger. It's those two guys. But
it's not so much that, listen, I'm not saying he can't draft. I'm saying he can't manage his team.
Yeah.
That's more of my issue. Listen, if you are not 100% certain, I don't care what the person does, unless you are 100% certain that this is your guy of the future, why are you guaranteeing him $6.8 million? There's nothing to gain from that, especially prior to the NFL draft.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. That's more my issue. The time frame of all of it makes no sense. Doesn't matter if it's performance. Listen, if the only thing that would warrant this was if he freaking karate chopped his pregnant girlfriend in the tummy and killed the baby. That's my point. If that's the case, okay, you have to cut him because the guy's a piece of garbage. Okay, then that warrants it.
Hey, at least he paid his defensive stud Von Miller and is not like Les Snead of the Rams not paying Aaron Donald or Reggie McKenzie.
Donald's gonna get paid. Donald's getting close.
We'll see.
It's getting close.
They just dished out another $38 million contract. So we'll talk about that soon.
No, I'm going to get to that right now. I didn't bring it up.
And the Raiders, too. They haven't paid Khalil Mack yet. He's still holding out.
Well, that's because they're going to trade him. Because the Raiders
jokes. They're morons.
And I'm actually starting to get a little bit excited because the Bears' name starts slowly creeping in here.
Yeah.
I still don't see how they overtake the Packers. But I want to ask you the last non-fun one, if you would. Non-fun one. The Rams do extend one Rob Havenstein, 4 years, $32.5 million, $16 million guaranteed. I don't see them 6 months from now just saying, hey, never mind, cut ya. We'll take our losses like John Elway did. First question, how do the Rams have any money? I don't get it. I truly don't. It seems like every other week the Rams have more money.
I don't get it either. It's how they're structuring these deals. Because I believe the last time I looked, they had like $7 or $8 million left on their cap. So they probably used some of that this year. But you got to look in the future as well. I believe Sue's off their books next year.
Yep.
So that's like another.
Potentially, I think they have an option.
So that's close to $20 million off their books. Jared Goff still on a cheap money deal. But yeah, they're paying guys. Gurley's making good money right now. They just paid another offensive lineman. It's tough. And
this is Goff's third year?
Yes. So you still got two more.
This is where
one more cheap year after this one.
Well, no, you get the option.
But that's over $20 million.
True.
So it's not cheap.
It just comes down to this is where the Rams paid to keep everyone happy, and it's like, hey, this is our year to make a run. I mean, they paid out some big money. That defense is top caliber. They have a stud running back. They have their franchise quarterback. Tom, I'm going to tell you right now. I know we were trying to keep this episode under 30 minutes. It's not going to happen. Because I have a lot of stuff I still want to talk about. So, Josh, if you're listening, stay in Bettendorf, Iowa, because I don't really care, champ. So the Chargers pay out more. Let's go here. I want to talk about the Browns. Fun fact, some of you guys out there might bet a time or two. Our friend Josh, former host of the podcast, has an extreme gambling problem.
He's a degenerate gambler.
He is. That's why
That's probably why he didn't pay his internet this month.
Yeah, he's actually not going from camp to camp. His fiance just sent him from Gambler Anonymous to Gambler Anonymous across the country just to try to clean him up. And this is the reason why. Tom, this is not an exact quote, but more Browns to win the AFC North bets have come in than the other three teams in the division combined. Only the Raiders and Steelers have more bets to win the AFC. Not just the North, the entire AFC. This gentleman's quote, "The public likes the Browns, and I'm not sure why." Caesar Palace Sportsbook Manager. Are you ever going to put any money? I mean, don't get me wrong. I get the love to the Browns. I like what they're doing. I like what they have built. Hugh Jackson's still the coach, and they're still a team in their infancy, in my opinion.
The only thing the Browns fans should be betting this year is that Hugh Jackson will be fired mid-year. There's no way this team is making the playoffs. Look,
I agree.
I get the hype from Hard Knocks. But look, every year it happens. Look at last year with Hard Knocks with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know, we fell for a little bit. We started to become believers.
So Josh fell for it.
Yeah.
I haven't fallen for nothing.
I like the Bucs last year, though, but yeah.
Finger licking good.
Still creepy. But I don't think the Browns are there yet. They're still a young football team. Yeah, they got Tyrod. I wish Baker would be playing this year, but I don't think he's going to be.
That's honestly the best thing Hugh Jackson. And you know what? I'm gonna cut here for a second because I have. Hugh Jackson was asked, "Will Baker get any reps here in the preseason with the ones?" And his first three words. You know what they were, Tom?
What?
No, no, no. He went on. He said some other stuff. Again, don't have it in front of me. I ended with Tyrod needs it. I love what Hugh Jackson is doing. This is what I was hoping the stupid Bears would do with Mitchell Trubisky last year. I love honestly, all the way the Browns have been just built up here has made me love Tyrod Taylor. It's made me love Baker Mayfield. I was never a big Baker Mayfield fan like you guys were. Their whole dynamic of we're going to camp out. We're going to get better. Tyrod saying, I'm going to build up the young kid. Baker saying, hey, it's cool. I'm going to sit back and bide my time. Tyrod's going to go out there and kill it in the meantime. They got Jarvis Landry doing his dumbass speeches. They got 48 running backs in the meantime. They got a friggin' wide receiver in Josh Gordon who may or may not be a Pro Bowler. As crazy as much of a circus as the whole Browns organization is right now as a team, it's working. It's working. I genuinely do love the Browns organization. Am I going to put any money on them? Hell no. The only money I'm putting on the Browns is the over-under of 6.5. And I will take probably still the under. But I love what the Browns are building. They are going to fire Hugh Jackson. He's not going to make it through the season. If they get a good, solid coach in there who can take control of that team, they still have a lot of financial flexibility. They have a lot of young talent. They're going to have young talent coming in next year as well. They have one of the best up-and-coming pass rushers in the league. They have potentially one of the best up-and-coming quarterbacks in the league. They have 3 running backs. They have 2 potential Pro Bowl wide receivers. There's a lot to like with the Cleveland Browns.
Yep.
Whew. Sorry, I got a little bit heated there. The Browns are who I wish my Bears would be.
They're fun. They're gonna be a fun
They're at
team.
least fun. They're at least something to watch. Let's move on here to the another one of my favorite stories that you said you didn't hear. You didn't hear about one DJ Moore.
I did not.
You did not hear DJ Moore, rookie wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers. You're not going to be happy about this because I know you love some DJ Moore.
I like DJ.
DJ Moore. He was pulled over, Tom. He was pulled over in a work zone.
You have the weed?
Work zones are 65 miles an hour. DJ Moore pulled over doing 113.
Ooh. It's not that big of a deal.
113 in a 65 work zone?
It's not good. Did he have a gun on him? Did he hit anyone? Does he have the weed?
As far as I know, there was no altercation.
That's fine. He's rich.
I still feel like that's a problem.
He might lose his license. Whatever. As he should. Like, it's obviously not a smart decision. He's obviously a 21-year-old kid who just made $5 million on his signing bonus. He's probably driving a $300,000 car.
I want to know, like, my biggest thing when I hear that is, all right, that happened. Like, listen, I got pulled over once doing like 100 and like a 65. I get it. I've been there. Yeah. And I was in my girlfriend at the time's dad's Cadillac. They didn't know we were driving up to Michigan. I had it on cruise control at 95.
What the hell are you doing?
95, and no joke. True story.
That's
true story.
Terrible.
She looks at me. My girlfriend was in the back seat. Her mom was in the passenger seat, and she was like kind of like sleeping. And she sat up. She's like, "Wow, we're making great time." I'm like, yeah, no shit, we're doing 95. She's like, "You're gonna get a ticket, you stupid asshole." Shit, you not. 3 minutes later, right past the cop, and I'm like, "Oh shit!"
You gotta speed up then.
Well, no. So I was 18. I was 18, and I saw the cop. I saw him instantly turn out, and I go, "Oh shit! Should I get off at this exit and just fucking take off?" And she's like, "No, just pull off." If it wasn't for the mother of the girlfriend, I was going. So that's why I give NFL players some, because I'm just as like, in that situation, I'm like, I get the fight or flight. Like, I'm all about just, you're going 95. Just speed up to 105 and get away. I'm in a Cadillac. It's a V8. I'll make it. Nevertheless, I didn't. And I got...
you just pulled over before... Were his lights on yet?
No, I just kept driving. I slowed down to like 85. And then...
that was a mistake.
That's what I thought too. But with the mother in the car, I didn't have much of a choice. It wasn't my car. You know...
Should have maxed that sucker out.
I was thinking about it. We were only like 10 miles from where I was going to. But long story short, I paid a hefty fine to the lovely city of, I don't know what city it was, but the state of Indiana. Asshole. And they're like, we're going to put points on your license. I'm like, well, in Illinois, we don't have that, so I don't really care. So I don't necessarily fault one DJ Moore in that situation. You know, dumb kids do dumb things, but...
He's probably going to have to do like 100 up-downs at practice.
113, though? That's
fast.
What are you driving that goes 113?
Maybe he had the wind at his back. You know, that could have made his MPH go up a little bit.
Like, that's what I think, though. Like, when the officer pulls up, like, I remember back to that, and the officer pulled up. He goes, "You know why I pulled you over?" Yeah, yes.
I'm like, I'm DJ Moore of the Carolina Panthers. I play wide receiver. I was first-round draft pick. That's how it opened.
When he pulled me over, he goes, "You know why I pulled you over?" I go, "Officer, I'm so sorry." That's how I started. How NFL players should be coached on this. Just start by apologizing. "I'm sorry, I messed up." Now, obviously, DJ Moore, you're right. But how did he start that? "You know why I pulled you over?" Nope. No idea, officer. Oh, man, Tom.
I always I have to poo really bad. I'm going to poo my pants. It's gotten me out of a couple.
Is it really?
Yeah. It's just like, oh, you make a weird face, and it works.
Yeah.
You start crying.
You see, I can't really cry on demand.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's move on. I got two that are going to be near and dear to your heart. I'm going to start with the lesser, in my opinion. Frank Gore apparently has been driving Adam Gase nuts because he wants to get into preseason games. Apparently he's driving Adam Gase crazy. Frank Gore Should he be playing preseason? Is he gonna?
Probably not.
Is he gonna make it through an NFL season? What?
Yeah, he's the equivalent of a cockroach. This dude, like, he can't be
I don't
killed.
think you say that.
He's just not like a bad way. It's just like a nuclear bomb couldn't kill a cockroach. Like, age doesn't affect Frank Gore. He's been the same running back the last like 5 years, like 3.5 yards per carry, has a couple good plays per game, doesn't get hurt. He's reliable. I love good old Francis Gore. I loved what he did with the Indianapolis Colts. I wish Andy Luck was healthy more with Frank Gore, but Frank Gore will always have a spot in my heart.
I just want you to know that if someone was quoting this podcast, the quote right now would be, "A nuclear bomb couldn't kill a cockroach. AIDS couldn't kill Frank Gore." That's the exact quote. I love it. Very interested to see what Frank Gore brings to that Miami offense. Now,
Probably not much.
my big reveal, my big stat
Oh, God.
that I found of one Andrew Luck.
Not good.
Tom's Andrew Luck. He struggled a bit here in the preseason. He's been sacked a few times, and that's what this stat's based upon. Did you know? In 43 snaps in this preseason, Andrew Luck has been sacked 3 times. Based on his career snaps, per game average, Luck will take 77 sacks in 16 games,
Ugh.
which is one more than 2002 David Carr, which is the NFL record for most sacks taken in a season. Tom, is Andrew Luck screwed? Is he going to get sacked 77 times? What's going on with your Colts?
No, I don't think he's going to get sacked that much. Look, he's rusty. That's what it is. The number 2 and number 3 best players on that offense were out this week. Anthony Costanzo hasn't played yet. We got T.Y. Hilton was out this week, so that's kind of Luck's safety blanket. I'm expecting things to get better. Hopefully they do. Hopefully week 3 he looks a little better. He looked pretty good week 1 against Seahawks. But yeah, I hope those hits stop coming as
You see
frequently
his thing
as
he
they
said
have.
it felt good to get sacked by Terrell Suggs?
Yeah, I heard him say that. It's kind of frustrating, Tim. You know, I don't want Luck to get hit. I wish he would be more like that Tom Brady who doesn't get touched too often. I think that Frank Reich's offense is going to help him out. But I think it's a big milestone for him, in all honesty. I don't want him to be taking a bunch of hits, but he has to have that in his head, playing like he's not scared. And that's an issue, and anyone that's been an athlete who's come back from an injury knows it's kind of a mental block that you're nervous about re-injuring yourself, and once you get to the point where you know you're 100% healthy, you play at a different level, and I think that's what's been what might have been holding Andrew Luck back a little bit.
I'm a bit surprised that you specifically don't take more into the mentality of what Andrew Luck's going to have to go through. Seeing the sports psychologist, listen, if this was Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger, any other quarterback, and Tom Brady, whatever. Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers are different, I think, but Andrew Luck's right between those elite style athletes, in my personal opinion. I'm surprised you're not more nervous, in all honesty. I really am. I remember he should be. He's worried about that shoulder, but there's a lot riding on it.
I'm nervous. Just skill set, and when he came into the NFL, I think he's got all the abilities to be one of the best of all time, to be mentioned in that GOAT conversation, and what he's been able to do in the NFL with a pretty crappy roster, with pretty crappy coaching. I think it says a lot about him. I'm hoping Frank Reich is a different style of coach. Hopefully Chris Ballard can continue putting quality football players around him. Quarterbacks alone can't win championships, but they do help out a lot, and hopefully Andrew Luck will be hoisting a couple of Lombardis in the near future.
We will have to wait and see, Tom. I think that's all I have. Do you have any preseason talk or anything that you want to bring up here? I mean, if I'm talking preseason, I was very, very impressed with the Green Bay Packers. I hate to say it. I was. Obviously going up against Pittsburgh Steelers. not even throwing out a fraction of what they're going to be come week one, but still. Nevertheless, I was impressed with what they brought to the table.
I liked what I saw of the Green Bay Packers. That defense had a couple pick sixes in that game as well. I liked what I saw to James Washington. Kind of surprised me a little bit. I was worried about him as a player in the NFL because pretty much what he was able to do in college was go deep and get a lot of jump balls. He really doesn't have the size and the speed that's normally super effective at that in the NFL. But he's still able to do it. He was still able to get over the top of the Green Bay Packers secondary, was able to had a nice 50-50 ball that he got up and took away from the defender. For me, as well, another negative point in the preseason has been Ronald Jones, or Rojo. I'm not even calling him Rojo anymore. I'm calling him Rojo.
You had to bring him up.
He's got more carries than yards. It's not good. He's had 2 targets. He's had 2 drops. A little nervous about him and his fantasy implications this year. I think Peyton Barber might be the guy. Just kind of the whole rookie running back class in general right now. Almost everyone has been almost a disappointment, besides Mr. Royce Freeman.
Yeah, no, they've all been a joke. I'm not really touching any running backs at this time in terms of fantasy value. I've been on the Rojo bandwagon from the start. He's embarrassed me. Call it what it is. I feel like that rich stepfather who adopts his son, takes him under his wing and says, "No, you're going to be okay, buddy." And then he just goes out there and closes his eyes and strikes out 5 times at T-ball. You're an embarrassment. Nobody loves you. And your mom said you were a mistake. So, Ronald Jones, step it up or I'm going to try to abort you.
I think Ronald Jones was my RB5 or 6 in this class. What's kind of making me angry is Josh compared him to Paul Perkins, coming out of college because they both ran or were much better in zone-friendly schemes. Kind of a similar running style, but I just thought Ronald Jones was a way better athlete. Didn't test like one because he hurt his hamstring at the combine. But he's making Josh look smart, and he's making us look stupid.
Yeah.
For us thinking he was anywhere near like a Jamal Charles type athlete and speed.
Jamal Charles is still trying out for teams?
Yeah, he tried out for the Redskins.
Unbelievable.
Hopefully Rojo could pick it up, but that sucks for Josh. He's openly rooting against
his own team.
Yeah, his own team and the second round pick. He's probably going to be. Who was the team you said he was going to be a fan of next? I thought there was some hipster team.
Golly, I did have it wasn't the Browns. I had a dead nuts pick.
Yeah,
too.
it was pretty good.
Yeah, we'll have to think about it. I can't remember. I honestly can't. We'll think about it. No, I do. As much as I joke, I'm not giving up hope on Ronald Jones yet. I think the way that the coach called him out today, what was the quote? Something along the lines of, "There's a reason he only caught 17 balls at USC."
Yeah.
Or something like that. That's more of, in my opinion, hey, step up, son. Let's go. Yeah. We have a role for you here. Figure it out. Let's go. Coaches don't do that in the NFL unless they're trying to motivate you. Like, coaches aren't ever like, "Hey, you're a piece of shit. We hope you fail." Like, there's a reason behind it. That's all I have here, Tom. I don't know about you. Anything else?
That's about all I got.
It has been a fantastic week. Next week will still be Tom and I. Josh might join us for an episode or 2, but 2 weeks from now, Joshua Stevens will be back, I believe, live in studio going into the very first week. We will have our must plays. We'll have all that stuff. So make sure you follow along. As always, you can follow us on Facebook, Pony Keg Sports. You can follow Josh at at Pony Keg Sports. Follow Tom at Pony_Keg_Tom. And you can follow me at Fight Talk Tim. Make sure to check out our sponsors. Rogue Energy. It is delicious. It replaces coffee. It replaces Red Bull, Monster, any of that crap. Do you need a pre-workout? Absolutely not. It is delicious, and right now you can use the promo code PKS at checkout. Saves you 10% and, throws a little bit of love our way. Lets them know that Pony Keg Sports is where you get all of your fantasy news. It has been a fantastic week. Make sure to watch all the preseason games. It's week 3. This is where all the starters are playing. This is where fantasy football players need to focus most on what is going to happen come week 1. Until next time.